Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Millie and today we are going over my Rune Factory collection. I thought this would be a good time to go over the collection since we recently had Guardians of Azuma. Guardians of Azuma. Azuma. Why is it so hard to say that? Everybody's been saying it wrong for months and so before it came out. Anyways, I wanted to go over the collection that I have. I have all the games. I wanted to talk about which ones I've played, which ones I hope they remake, and what I hope they bring in the future with the franchise. Okay, so first up, I do have the trilogy on the DS. So I have 1, 2, and 3. I haven't played any of these ones yet. I am hoping that they bring 1 and 2 as a remake to the Switch. And then I'll be more likely to play it on the Switch just because it's a little bit more comfortable in terms of sitting down and playing versus the DS is a little bit smaller, a little bit harder to play on. And then hopefully they can upgrade the graphics teeny tiny bit. I did start playing 3 on the Switch, which I do have, but I didn't get very far. I had other games that kind of popped up and held my interest more than playing a remake, so I've been playing those instead. So yes, I haven't played any of these ones yet, but I do want to at some point, especially if they can port the other 2 onto more modern console like the Switch or the Switch 2. Okay, then I have Rune Factory 4, which I have the 3DS copy and the Switch copy, and I played it on the Switch. This game is really good. It wasn't my first Rune Factory game. It was my second one, I think, that I ever played. This one is really good. I really felt like it leaned more into the storytelling and RPG elements of the game. I don't remember being that attached to the farming elements. And I think that's what makes this game so great is that it really leans into that aspect of the franchise, which is also what I think makes Guardians of Azuma really great. If you are new to the franchise, I recommend this as a starting point. I think it's a really good game and then go from there. So I would play this one and then maybe I would jump to Guardians. On this game, I actually played up until the first credits and didn't realize the game wasn't over yet. And then randomly one day I was like, you know what? I feel like playing it. I'm going to pick it up and just play it for fun. And realized that there was more to the game. And I still haven't finished the rest of it, but I did make it to the first credits. Maybe I should come back to this one and keep playing it, but it was really good. Here's my copy of Rune Factory 3 Special. So still need to play this one. I started it, like I said, but haven't finished it. Oh, and I totally skipped over to Switch and skipped Wii. We'll have to come back to Wii. So, Rune Factory 5. I really wanted to like this game, but it is so hard to like this game on Switch because it is so terrible. The performance is terrible. I just wasn't having fun with all of the lag. I'm not normally the type of person who cares about that sort of thing, but I really felt like it hampered the experience for me and made it really difficult to enjoy. I didn't mind the open world. There was a character I wanted to date and I never finished doing that. So I don't know. If this got a Switch 2 upgrade, I might come back to it. But I don't know if they're going to do that. Ultimately, it was kind of a fail. They tried so hard to update the franchise and bring it into the modern world, and I feel like it just didn't work, unfortunately. So this is actually the first Rune Factory game that I ever played. I don't know who told me about this franchise, but somebody, I think it might have been my sister, was like, have you heard of the Rune Factory games? And it's like Harvest Moon, but there's combat. And I was like, what? I need that. That is amazing. I want to play it right now. So I ended up getting this one on the Wii. It is a spin-off from the originals. I don't remember there being like a big story with this one. The emphasis for me was really the farming and then going into the mines to kind of like upgrade and catch animals and stuff. But this one had the Rune system. The Rune system was really annoying, but it definitely made this game unique. So basically you had these little Runes that would float around the map and there were different colors and each represented like a different thing. Like, I don't remember here. They're on the back of the case. I don't remember what they represented, like water and earth and stuff like that. So you would have to manage those runes, and you had like this little thing that would like suck them up, and then you could spit them back out, and you could say how many of each you wanted to spit back out. And so the idea was that in order for your farm to be successful, you needed to evenly distribute those runes. And so I spent tons of time in the game just distributing runes. I had a notebook. I wish I could find it. I had a notebook that I would write down how many of each rune were in each area of the map. And I kept track of this, you guys. It was like, I've never had notes with a game, okay? I've never just taken like notes in a notebook with a game. But with this I did. Maybe there was more story and I just didn't realize because it was my first Rune Factory game, and I was just kind of like, oh, let's go farm, and I just kind of stuck with that. I did enjoy it a lot, enough that I wanted to get another Rune Factory game. I really wanted to get Tides of Destiny, and I wasn't able to because at the time I was a poor married college student, didn't really have the budget to buy tons and tons of games. So when I started collecting, I decided I wanted to get all the Rune Factory games, including this one. So I've actually watched recently a YouTube video that said that this game has a lot of similarities to Guardians of Azuma. So this one I think would be a lot of fun to play, and I actually like more than I wish they would bring remakes of these two games more than I would wish they would bring remakes of 1 and 2, just because they were just so much more unique. So I think between all of them, as far as which retro or previously released game I would like to go back and play for the first time, I think this one is my number one that I would want to go back and play. Which leads us to Guardians of Azuma. This game is fantastic. I'm still not done with it. I did get pretty far. I want to say I'm like 2/3 of the way through. I love this game. It does so much right. I love that the farming is idle in this game because as much as I want the farming aspect, farming games can be really grindy. So I like that I get to manage and design and do all of that, but then all the villagers do all the work. It's like having sprinkler systems and stuff, except for it's villagers doing it. So, and they do it from the start. You don't have to sit and earn your sprinklers like you do in most games. Your villagers are there from the start, and they are helping with your farm from the very beginning. I also like that this is very story heavy, and there is voice acting and amazing cutscenes, and it just feels like you're playing an anime. I also like the dating in this game. A lot of times I don't participate in the dating in the Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons and Rune Factory series. And I think that's mostly because a lot of times I don't find characters that are interesting enough that I want to date. And also, I think I'm just of an age where I am married. So unless you give me like really cool person, I just don't care. So when I was a kid, obviously that was a little bit different and I did like the dating aspect. But as I've gotten older, I just don't care about it as much. But this game made me care about it a little bit more. When you interact with them, instead of just talking to everybody every single day and giving them a gift, you get a prompt where you can say, let's hang out. And then you get 4 choices of things that you can do. So you can go to the beach with them. You can go grab some food with them. You can go shopping with them. You can talk about certain topics with them. And it just feels a little bit more refined. I don't know. I just like that I get to have a little bit more control over what I'm doing with each character. And it also gives me, I put some thought into it, right? Because I'm like, would this character like to talk about this subject? Or would this character like to go shopping? And then if they don't like that thing, then it tells you that they didn't enjoy your time doing that. So maybe don't do that again. And I found that really fun because I don't have to go cook something to gift to them. I mean, there is gifting in here, so you can do that. But I'm not even doing gifting. I'm just heavily relying on relationship building through the let's hang out prompt. I also like that you don't just have this ambiguous flower or heart thing above the character chat box, especially because in most of the Harvest Moon, Story of Seasons, and Rune Factory games, they don't show you how much incrementally your relationship has improved after you've interacted with that character. You just have to kind of wait and see the next day if the heart has changed color. And I'm even seeing modern game is still doing this, and I don't like it. Potion Permit did it the way that this game does it, and I like it. It actually gives you a bar, and right after you've interacted with them, you see how much the bar has moved. I like that. I like visually seeing how much it moved every single time that I've interacted. I don't like to go the next day and go, okay, the heart's still the same, or, you know, I like to see like, okay, I've got this much left. Like in the next interaction, I'm gonna hit the next heart. I like that. That motivates me so much more to build relationships because I can see that it's actually making a difference versus feeling like I'm going to talk to these people and they're never going to improve their hearts with me. Overall, this is a really great game, and the things that I wish and hope that they will bring into Rune Factory 6, because they have said that they're going to have a Rune Factory 6. I hope they continue with the idle farming. I really, really enjoyed that. Maybe another version of that could become mainline in the mainline franchise. I love, like I said, the relationships, how it shows incremental progress every single time. I hope they keep that in Rune Factory 6. I hope they keep the voice acting in Rune Factory 6. I really just hope that this spin-off, they learn a lot from doing this and incorporate as many elements as they can into Rune Factory 6. I really like this direction, and I actually feel like maybe Rune Factory 6 will be the last number to Rune Factory, and maybe we'll get more stuff like this instead. I think I would enjoy that quite a bit. To kind of sum up here, we still need remakes of 1 and 2. No, this is 3. Of 1 and 2. For modern consoles, so preferably the Switch. I feel like it would be weird for me if they brought it to Switch 2 and not Switch 1. Well, if they brought it to Switch 1, then all of them would be on Switch 1. And I think that would be really cool. So I want remakes for 1 and 2 on Switch 1. And then I hope they remake the spin-offs, because I really want to play these, but you know what? Grabbing my Wii, okay, I think my Wii is set up right now, but even then, you have to make sure you have charged batteries in your controllers. I really just want to play it handheld. I don't want to sit in front of a TV. I like to game in bed, in the car, on road trips. I like playing handheld, so I want a handheld way to play these. And these games really work well in handheld because they're cozy games, and I don't want to sit in front of a TV to farm. I want to be more comfortable than that. So that is the collection. I don't have any of the special editions, and I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get the special edition of this game. But coming into Guardians of Azuma, I didn't know if I was going to like this game because I didn't like Rune Factory 5. So I was on the fence, and I ended up picking it up on a whim when I picked up my Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm just so glad that I did. I'm sad that I don't have the Woobly. What is his name? Wooly? He's a Wooly, but he's a dragon, but his name is Wooby? No, Woobly. I don't know. What is his name? Woobly. Why am I spacing out? I really want the plush, but it's too late. I wasn't like a huge into the fan and all of that. I really just the plush would have been enough for me. So I don't have any special editions. And also I had the opportunity to buy the special editions of 3 and 4. When I bought 4, it had been out for a while and the special edition was pretty cheap. And when I bought 3, it went on sale and I could have gotten the special edition as well. But I ended up not getting the special editions for any of these because I'm a weirdo and I want all of my games to sit on the shelf matching. And I didn't think I was going to like having like this big box. And I probably will be very picky about which things I get special editions of because I don't have a lot of space. You see, I don't have a ton of space. I need to make sure that I am conservative about that. And I don't want to have like a ton of big special editions. So, and a lot of times I just feel like the items included are not necessarily something that I care to have. I just care more about having the game. But I'll give you sneak information here. I did buy the special edition of Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar. because Grand Bazaar is like my favorite Harvest Moon game. So anyways, I will be doing a Harvest Moon collection when Grand Bazaar comes out. I'll do a vlog for Grand Bazaar. We're gonna go to our state fair and we might do a little bit of gardening and that sort of stuff while we play the game. And then I want to do the Harvest Moon Story of Seasons collection that I have. Oh, there's a hair floating in the room. My dog's hair. It sounds like at some point around the lifespan of Rune Factory 5 that this franchise almost died out and we almost didn't get more Rune Factory. So at this point, I'm just very happy that Rune Factory still exists and that we still get great games and that they are really taking very good steps in the right direction with these games. Since playing Guardians of Azuma, I am more excited about Rune Factory 6 and I am hoping that it'll end up being pretty good, so we shall see. I also think Marvelous is just doing a better job with their direction, especially even with remakes, because as far as I can tell, the Grand Bazaar remake for Harvest Moon Story of Seasons is more than just a remake. They have absolutely updated that game and made it more fun and more modern instead of just like copy and pasting it, and I think that is the best thing they can do for the franchise to really get people to love these games, is to bring it to its full potential in this modern age. That is the collection. So I want to know in the comments, what's your favorite Rune Factory game? Which ones do you have? Which ones are kind of the ones that got away that you never got to play that you really want to play? So let's chat everything Rune Factory down in the comments. I'm very excited to see where the Rune Factory franchise ends up in the future, and I will continue to play these games as long as they're making them. So thank you so much for watching. Happy gaming, happy collecting, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!